Hey guys, Sid from Sid's Trains here, and welcome to layout update video number 7. Some stuff has changed in the room and on the layout since the last layout update video, so let's go check out what's changed since that video. So starting with the room first, all around the room, all the screws except for up on that bulkhead have been covered with drywall compound. So now we are getting closer to being able to paint the room. So you see all the corners have been mudded up. We're still working on it, but they've been mudded. And it's looking pretty nice. And it's nice that this room is coming along, because this room was a unfinished room in the house. And that's kind of the reason why they gave me this. My parents gave me this room to be a train room, because I could just put a train table in here and it didn't matter. But it looks pretty good. And now we'll look at one other thing that we've done in here. If you've heard any kind of blowing noise, it is coming from this fan. And this fan sucks the air out of this room and cleans out the air in this room. And we do that because of the smoke coming from the trains, like the Big Boy and the Hudson sitting here. If any of you follow me on Instagram, you've seen some pictures of, or no, not pictures, videos of my train smoking a lot, and we decided that we'd hook up this fan finally so we can suck the smoke out of here. Currently, it is just running on a orange cord. Let me see if I can, there, right there, you can see that orange cord running through the bulkhead, all the way across, down to here, and it's plugged in down here. But later, it will be ran to a switch that will be right over there next to the door. But still, it is a nice upgrade to this room, and it's nice to not have tons and tons of smoke in this room. So let's go look at the layout now. One thing not related to the layout itself, but does have to do with trains, are these Glenn Schneider shelves that I got up this weekend. If you follow me on Instagram, which the account is Sid's Trains, you will have known that I had these shelves, and I showed you the update on putting them up this weekend. But we got them up, and they look pretty good. There's 6 shelves, and it holds a decent amount of my trains. And it looks good with the amount of passenger trains all along these shelves. It can store my Pullman cars, my Rail Chief cars, my aluminum cars, and a lot of engines as well. And at the top is something that you probably haven't seen before, and that is my Pride Lines M10000, which I have upgraded to command control with electric railroad, an electric railroad kit. But yeah, these shelves look great, and yeah, they look pretty good. So let's move on to the layout now. First off is that we've got the layout pretty clean now. Since we put up the shelves, there's not that much trains actually on the table except for the ones right here. But now it's very clean. This whole table over here is open, and that allows me to then experiment with buildings and other things. But before we actually install any of them, we do have to get the Homos out, which is coming pretty soon, probably in the next layout update. But yeah, the layout is becoming more clear since the trains are on the shelves, and it's looking pretty good having an open layout. So let's go look at the next thing that's happened. The next thing is with the actual table itself. Right here is a seam that I'm pointing to, and if you watch the older videos and you saw trains running along the back stretch, these tables were in sort of like a hill motion like this, and when they were like that, it would make a hump and the trains would go like this, over like a hump, and it just didn't look very good in the videos. So we've leveled the table a bit more, and now it looks good when the trains are running across, and you'll see that in the end of the video. So let's move on to the next thing that's happened. The next thing that's happened on the layout is the addition of this reverse loop here. And it's great for reversing trains on the outer loop and on the inner loop. And it's also going to be great for me to have coal loaders and log loaders on each side, and for them to be in between these two tracks here, which I will talk about in a little bit. But it's great to have this now, but this will not be staying specifically right here. I will be getting rid of this pop-up here, this big pop-up you see here, and it's going to be, there will probably be a hill or something else here, but I will be getting rid of this hole, and there still will be a small pop-up for me to pop up through the hill, but this hole will not always be here because it just takes up too much real estate in the layout. And it'll, once I have the hole covered, I can have more things on the layout, because this is a fairly giant hole. It is about a almost 3 feet by 3 feet hole, so it takes up a lot of space. So I'll be getting rid of it, and then I will be moving this over, and behind over here you see the switch. So basically the switch will be moving from here to here, and then I'll be putting a curve behind it so then it can connect. And that will basically move this reverse loop from here about to here, and that will give me more space for stuff going on over here, which I will talk about in a minute. But once I move it over, I can then have coal loaders and other things that I would like to put on the layout, because I like some of the old post-war accessories. And as you can see, I've also moved my right-of-way transformer, and there's a Power Master right there, and the command base is on the other side. But as you see, I move them down there because I'm working up here on top of the layout, and I just don't want to have them on top. So now that I've shown you this, let's look at the final thing that's been going on in the layout. Here's the final thing that's been happening on the layout, and it is the development of the turntable and the roundhouse. So let me get up on the table and give you a better view of it. Up on the table now, you can really see what's going on, and it is the development of this big turntable and the roundhouse, and the stalls around the roundhouse. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, as I said before, saw me experimenting with some old O-gauge track. In that post on Instagram, I said that I would be making a 30-inch turntable. It is going to be a 36-inch turntable, actually. This is a loop of Atlas 036 track sorry, that I bought from a train store for $25, and it was a pretty good deal. But I bought this track to use for the bottom of the turntable, and I'm going to be using the inside rail, and it will be running along the outside of the turntable down in the well of the turntable. And this, from this rail to the other inside rail over there, that is about 35 and a half inches. And then I will extend the table on top a bit more to be able to fit the big boy on. But it will pretty much be a 36 to 36 and a half inch turntable, and it will be able to hold my big boy. Sorry for the shakiness. And the big boy is right over here. And as you can see, as the name implies, it is a big engine. So I'm just designing this turntable so I can fit the big boy on it. And this could change. Maybe there might have to be a smaller turntable if this can't fit. But the way I have it set up right now, it will most likely fit once I move the reverse loop, as I said before. So this could change, but most likely it will stay like this. Now let me go talk about the roundhouse. Now here's the roundhouse and the stall tracks around it. There's going to be 5 tracks, 3 that go into the roundhouse, which is the 3 tracks that are on top of this cardboard, which I will explain in a second, and then the 2 outer tracks that will be outside of the roundhouse. And this will butt up against a mountain that will be here, but that is to come at a later date. And now let me talk about this cardboard right here. So let me take these trains off and take the track off, and then I can talk about that. Now what this cardboard is the exact, or not exact, but pretty close to the dimensions of the Corber roundhouse kit that I'm going to buy. We found the dimensions on the Corber website, and we cut this out of cardboard and we set it here. And this basically now allows us to make adjustments with the track on the table without actually having the kit itself. And once we know that we can use the Corber kit, we will then buy it. We will be buying the cheaper kit, which is $179 instead of being more like $200 to $300. and we are going to be buying the one that is one that you build all up yourself in paint, not the one that comes assembled or painted. So it'll be cool to get the roundhouse, but we just have this right now just so we can experiment with the track like I had before. Like, I can set this on here and get it more aligned with the turntable back down here. And then once we have all of this laid out the way we want, then we can buy the kit, as I said. And it'll be just to the, it'll be in the right place and all of that. So basically, we just have this for testing and experimenting, so we don't have to buy the kit right now. And once we are done experimenting, then we can buy the kit. So let me put this track back on. Sorry about me shaking the camera, but yeah, we just have this now, and once we get the kit, it'll look pretty good over here, and once we have the turntable done, it'll look good over here. So that's pretty much been all the updates. I'll talk for a little more over on the other side of the layout, and then we'll wrap up by running some trains. Okay guys, that basically wraps it up for this layout update video. Before we run some trains and then this video, I would like to mention that I do have the Instagram account, as I've talked about in this video. The account name is Sid's Trains, and you should go check it out so you can see more daily updates and just other stuff that I post on there. So go check that out, and as always, like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications. Tell others, and comment down below. I've been Sidney Flumbum, and I'll see you next time.